Hey, you've just stepped into the Caring Corner, where life's caregiving challenges meet a whole lot of heart and a dash of sass. I'm Mischelle O'Neal, and I'm here to serve up insights, inspiration, and real life tools to help you navigate caring for your kids and aging loved ones without forgetting about you. Expect everything from time management hacks and emotional wellness strategies to technology tips sprinkled with humor and tenacity. Are you ready? Let's get to it. Hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Caring Corner. I'm your host and resident emotional wellness coach, Mischelle O'Neal. And today we're tackling a topic that hits home for many of us, myself included: long distance caregiving. If you've ever found yourself trying to juggle care for a loved one from miles away, you know the unique challenges that it presents. But don't worry, we're going to explore effective strategies to help you manage this overwhelming task with grace and confidence. So let's start with the emotional impact, okay? The reality is that being far from your loved one can lead to feelings of guilt, anxiety, and actually helplessness because you're constantly wondering if you're doing enough or if something important's going to, well, slip through the cracks. Questions race through your mind like, are they okay? Are they safe? Are they protected? Did they fall and I didn't know? Is someone trying to take advantage of them through scam calls or misleading mail? Did they remember their doctor's appointment, or are they struggling with simple tasks around the house? All of these questions, all of these things weigh heavily because you want them to maintain the independence that they desire and stay in the familiar place that they don't want to leave, but still be safe. It's like this. Think about managing your own household and career while trying to care for an elderly parent who lives miles away. Sounds familiar? Every day you're anxious about all the what ifs. What if they need help and you're not there? What if something happens and you're the last to know? Every one of these fears are real and constant, making it hard to focus on anything else or the things that you should be focusing on. You're not just juggling your responsibilities, you're carrying the emotional burden of wanting to be in two places at once. And it is exhausting. There's also the practical challenges. Coordinating with local caregivers or managing medical appointments and keeping track of their needs from a distance. All of this can feel overwhelming without the right tools and support. Even if you're not currently relying on local caregivers, it's never too early to start getting together the information and preparing for when the support might be needed. Being proactive can save you from a lot of stress later on. But what about trying to arrange home health services or managing medical appointments in another state where you're unfamiliar with the providers or the local healthcare system or even the neighborhood? It's like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. And I don't know about you, but this is extremely frustrating. Even simple things like scheduling a plumber or making sure the lawn is mowed can become taxing when you're miles away. But starting the process now, even if it's just gathering the content information or setting up a few initial appointments, can give you a head start when things become urgent. These challenges can make long distance caregiving feel like an uphill battle. But with the right strategies, you can overcome these obstacles and provide the support that your loved ones needs. Look, one of the most crucial steps is to build a strong, reliable care team on the ground. This includes healthcare providers, neighbors, friends, and professional caregivers who can keep you informed and act as your eyes and ears when you can't be there. But it's not just about gathering a team, it's about making sure everyone is on the same page. If you have other family members involved, clear communication is essential to avoiding duplication of efforts or stepping on each other's toes. It's easy for your loved one to forget who they told what, so having a unified approach actually ensures nothing falls through the cracks. Consider setting up a care circle, a small group of people who take care of specific roles, from checking in regularly to handling emergencies. This spreads the responsibility and gives you peace of mind. So make sure everyone in the care circle has a clear understanding of their role and maintains open lines of communication with the rest of the team. Regular check ins, whether in person or by group calls, can help make sure everyone stays updated and on track. Look, technology can be your best friend in long distance caregiving, but it's important to choose tools that are practical for both you and your loved one. Use apps to monitor health metrics, medical adherence, and daily activities. Video calls provide a more personal connection that a phone call can't, and it's allowing you to see how your loved one is really doing. However, remember that technology is only effective if it's actually used. Make sure your loved one understands how to use these tools and feels comfortable with them. Another thing to think about is to explore using smart home devices that can alert you to unusual activities, such as sensors that detect if the doors are open at odd hours, or smart pill dispensers that track medication usage. But here's the catch: these tools are only helpful if they're used correctly. I've seen it happen too many times. A new device is given to a loved one, and it ends up forgotten on a counter or table because it's just too complicated or intimidating for them to comfortably use. So before you invest in this technology, make sure it's something your loved one will actually use and understand. Ask them. Believe it or not, they will not hesitate to tell you what they do not like and what they will not use. Consider starting with a device that requires minimal interaction from them and gradually introducing more as they become comfortable. With a strong support network and the right tech tools, you're well equipped to manage care from a distance. But how do you stay connected emotionally when you can't be there in person? Actually, we learned a lot about this during COVID. Regular communication is key to staying emotionally connected with your loved ones. Schedule frequent check ins, whether it's daily, every other day, or whatever works best for you and them. These don't have to be long conversations. Sometimes just a quick call to say, "Hey, how you doing?" is enough. What's important is the consistency and the intention behind the cause. Remember, the conversation shouldn't always be about what they need to do or what they didn't do. Ask them how they're feeling. Listen to their little aches and pains and let them share what's on their mind. Sometimes they just need to talk and know that you're there and that you're truly listening, because to them, this tells them that you care. One way to make these interactions even more meaningful is by creating a care calendar. And you're like, what's a care calendar? This can be a shared online calendar where you and other family members plan virtual visits, send care packages, or share updates on your family. It's a simple tool that ensures that your loved one feels cared for and remembered, even when you're not physically there. It also helps you coordinate so that there's always something for them to look forward to, whether it's a call, a letter, or a special delivery. Oh, and never underestimate the power of small personal touches. These gestures go a long way in maintaining emotional connection. Do things like send photos or home videos or even playlists of their favorite music. These can bring comfort and remind them of your love and support, helping them to fill in for that physical distance between you. For example, now, I've known caregivers who send a memory box filled with mementos from their home. This could include anything from a favorite family recipe to a special item that holds sentimental value. Sharing these things about what's going on in your life allows them to feel like, well, in many ways, that they're actually there. It's not just about the items themselves, but the memories and the feelings that they invoke. These personal touches can make your loved one feel more connected to you and to your home, even if they're miles away. Personally, I make it a point to check in with my mom daily or at least every other day. And for me, this frequency is comforting. So, not so much for her, but for me. But it's important to find a rhythm that works for both you and your loved one. The key is to let them lead the conversation sometime, allowing them to share what's on their mind, how they're feeling, and what's happening in their world. These conversations are a reminder that you care about more than just their physical well being. You care about their emotional and mental state too. How are their friends doing? How's cousin so and so doing? What did they do that day? Did they get their nails done? All these things. By staying emotionally connected, you provide invaluable support that goes beyond just physical care. But what about the big decisions? How do you handle those from far away? Well, okay. So it's essential to have all the legal and medical documents in order, including your power of attorney, medical directives, and access to health records. Oh, and I know that sometimes having this conversation can be a challenge. It makes the mortality of life look and feel too real. But it's more than just having the paperwork. It's about making sure that these documents are the right fit for your loved one's needs and that they fully understand and are comfortable with what they're signing. For instance, when setting up a power of attorney, you'll want to make sure it grants you the appropriate authority to handle the specific matters that your loved one may need help with, whether it's financial, medical, or both. Consider setting up a decision day, a scheduled time when you and your loved ones sit down to review and update their critical documents. Now, this regular review ensures everyone is on the same page and can act quickly if needed. But look, don't stop there. Make sure your loved one feels supported in this process. If they're uncomfortable handling certain calls like dealing with maintenance, insurance, or auto issues, offer to be on the line with them. A three-way call allows them to stay involved while giving you the opportunity to step in if needed. Now, this way, they maintain their independence, but with the reassurance that you're there to provide emotional and practical support. Another important step is to ensure that if you're making calls on their behalf, both of you are on the line when you first contact that provider. Inform the provider that your name should be added as an authorized person to call on their behalf. This applies to things like cable services, medical providers, insurance, and more. It's also a good idea to ask if any additional documentation is needed to solidify your ability to act on their behalf in the future. We want to also think about crisis management. Managing emergencies when you're far away can be frightening, which is why having a clear, actionable plan in place is non negotiable. Start by creating a list of local contacts, trusted neighbors, friends, or nearby family members who can act quickly in case of an emergency. Now, this list should include multiple standbys just in case one person isn't available or close enough when needed. An emergency fund is also crucial. This could be a dedicated amount or simply having quick access to funds that can be used for unexpected expenses, whether it's for sudden medical needs or urgent home repairs. Make sure your loved one knows how to access this fund and that they're comfortable doing so if needed. For instance, one caregiver I spoke with has a just in case binder that includes all the critical information from medication lists and doctors' contact details to financial accounts and home maintenance contacts. This binder is easily accessible to those on the ground, ensuring that if any emergency arises, everything they need is in one place. There's also a copy with the person who has power of attorney. It's a simple yet highly effective way to ensure that no matter the situation, the right decisions can be made quickly and with confidence. But before I leave this subject, I want to give you a few more additional tips. Multiple standbys. I kind of touched on that, but make sure that you have several trusted individuals listed as emergency contacts who can step in if needed. This redundancy ensures that there's always someone available, even if the primary contact is unavailable. Regular updates. Review and update all emergency plans, contacts, and financial details regularly, especially as circumstances change. This keeps the plan relevant and actionable. Documentation access. If possible, digitize critical documents and store them securely online. This way, they can be accessed quickly and easily by authorized individuals, no matter where they are. Okay, now that we've covered decision making, let's talk about taking care of yourself as a long distance caregiver. After all, you can't pour from an empty cup. You want to avoid burnout. Caregiver burnout is real, especially when you're balancing care from afar and with your own life's responsibilities. It's easy to become overwhelmed when constant interruptions occur for even the smallest thing or at the most inopportune times. This is where setting and enforcing boundaries become crucial. Have those boundary setting conversations with your loved one and make sure they understand why these boundaries are necessary, not just for your well being, but for the quality of care that you can provide. Add caregiver check ins into your routine. These are moments where you pause to assess your own emotional and physical health. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you snapping at people or feeling unusually exhausted? These are signs that it's time to delegate tasks or ask for more support. As women, one of the biggest failings is taking care of everyone else, but not allowing others to step in and offer help. We often think others are too busy or have too much on their plate, so we take on the additional burdens ourselves. But it's not for us to think for them. Ask for help and let them answer. You might be surprised at how willing and able people are to lend a hand. Don't forget about your own support network. Stay connected with your friends, join a caregiver support group, and don't hesitate to seek professional counseling if needed. Caregiving can be isolating, but it doesn't have to be. Building a strong support system for yourself is just as important as building one for your loved ones. Why not consider creating a caregiver buddy system where you partner with another long distance caregiver. You can share tips, provide moral support, and even check in on each other's well being. This partnership can be a lifeline on tough days, offering a sense of camaraderie and understanding that only another caregiver can provide. Another crucial aspect of avoiding burnout is keeping everything organized, especially when it comes to your loved one's appointments. Adding their appointments to your family calendar not only helps them remember, but also keeps you in the loop about what's going on. It allows you to plan better, avoid conflicts, and ensure that nothing falls through the cracks. This small step can greatly reduce stress and help you manage your time more effectively. Listen, today we tackled the unique challenges of long distance caregiving. We explored effective strategies for managing care when you're far away, and we highlighted the importance of staying connected both emotionally and logistically. Remember, with the right tools and support, you can provide excellent care no matter the distance. And just as importantly, you can take care of yourself in the process. If you found today's episode helpful, please subscribe and share this podcast with anyone who may benefit from it. And don't forget to leave a comment or review. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences with long distance caregiving. Also, I have a special grant that's available right now, the Empowerment Grant for Women Caregivers. It's open until the 18th of August, 2024. There are only 3 slots available, tailored for select women like you, aiming to proactively build stability and combat overwhelm. Now, this 1 month coaching program is designed to actually enhance your emotional strength, improve your stress management, and significantly uplift your daily life. To apply, go ahead and visit grant.michelleoneal.net. I'll put the link in the show notes below so you can spell my name correctly. Listen, thank you for joining me here today on the Caring Corner. I'm Mischelle O'Neal, and until next time, stay resilient, stay strong, and keep moving forward. Take care. Bye bye. All right, that's a wrap for today at the Caring Corner. We've tackled some big topics, but remember, you're not in this alone. Subscribe to keep the wisdom and warmth coming, and stay tuned for amazing guests who'll be joining us to help round out your caregiving toolkit. Catch you next time, and keep conquering those challenges.